Bro, I almost broke my app. So so here's a tip for everybody. And some people might know, do not replace your info.plist with another info.plist, because then you start getting some weird errors like something about the configuration. It happened this morning. It happened last night, and I stayed up all night till like 4 a.m. trying to figure it out. Went to bed, woke up, figured it out around like noon, like 12 or 11. And I literally went on Upwork because the AIs couldn't figure it out. I could find nothing on Google, and I was like, yo, let me hire some senior dev on Upwork. And luckily, I ended up just renaming it, and then I ended up renaming it and going inside the bundle. What was it? It was the build settings, or no, build phases. Yeah, the copy bundle resources, and then change like renaming it there. It was crazy, but yeah, I figured it out, and I get this warning. Um, I get this really weird warning. I can't open it because I don't want you to see my API keys, but I get this weird warning, and I'm not playing. I'm not messing around with it. I'm gonna finish what I need to finish, and then I'll circle back. And if I end up going to that Apple Entrepreneur Camp thing, maybe I'll talk to an Apple engineer and be like, "Yo, can you help me like fix this?" Yeah, I don't know how that timeline's gonna go since I applied for it. All right, so this is what I got so far. You can search for restaurants here. So let's say Bear Smokehouse. All right, you get some photos. Really cool. I like it. And don't worry about the design. I'll polish it up later. And then you'll be able to add pins and open it up in maps, or in maps of your choosing, like Google Maps, if it's pretty easy to do that. And then this is what I'm out to out to achieve. Now that I have that, it's just a matter of like saving it in Firestore. So I'm just going to save the place ID and the date time stamp, and also the user's ID. So I know which user saved the pin. Uh, I don't know how that's going to go with the read and writes, and I think the Google Places have like a policy about like what you can store and can't store. Um, and so I could have went with a hybrid approach. I could have went like, storing their saved pins and then just retrieving it from the Firestore and whatnot. But I'll test it out and see what happens. All right. So the autocomplete for places, the Places API works. Saving the pin, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be hard. Then I'm gonna create folders so people can like organize, categorize how they want to save it. The preferences is what I'm going to work on. The preferences are like this, what they look like here. And this also acted weird. It's a whole nother story I won't explain, but and I like it in dark mode, but I have to tidy that up. But I'm gonna change the UI for the preferences, and so those will go on this page right here, and then there'll be a button saying get AI recommendations. And I got this nice carousel where it'll give you based on your preferences. The AI will give you like maybe like 10 places and tell you like, hey, you should check this out. This is the reason why at the top, and then the details will be like overlaid on top of the image, with some like, the title, what time it's open, and stuff like that here. So that's what I'm gonna go for. That's gonna be pictures right here, and maybe the folders and stuff. And I'm gonna use the Unsplash API to like, maybe if I get to it, but use the Unsplash API to allow people to like save different photos, and also use the camera roll if I get to that. So I was gonna do a diagram, but I'll just explain it like this. We got the app right here. We got an AI, and we have the Places API, right? Um, I'm getting the user's location, and then I'm pulling like places that are around them, right? They set their preferences, and based on those preferences, I'm going to give it to the AI, and then once the AI has your preferences, it'll look at all the restaurants close to your area and basically just filter it, right? It's gonna filter what restaurants best suit your your dining preferences, and also I'm going to probably another paid feature like for the revenue cat um, hackathon or just in general is maybe a weekly AI recommendation. So every week you'll get one restaurant recommended to you based on your preferences if you are a subscriber to MoFoods. And then I'm probably gonna like limit this to like I think I'm calling them AI plates or whatever, where you can it's the amount of times you can push get AI recommendations and basically get recommendations. Think of it like roses on Hinge or super likes on Tinder or whatever, or any thing where it's like you have a limit amount of. Basically, you'll have like 10 recommendations you can do right here, and every time you push it, you'll get recommendations. But it'll look a lot better than this, and it'll look a lot more visual. So that's what I got going on. That's what I'm doing. I think that's all I wanted to talk about, and I'm a little tired. uh, but yeah, got the preferences, search, and I'm playing around with it here, learning. Having the guys tutor me and looking at documentation and just like getting back into looking at some of my old notes and courses and books I took uh, to build this out. So I'm gonna implement it here, then move it to MoFoods, and that's what I did that, and then that's what happened with that bug. But I think I got to figure it out. Oh, and the last thing is trying to figure out if I'm gonna use the Gemini API or the OpenAI API, ChatGPT basically. And the thing I'm gonna use Gemini. It looks very easy to implement and get more tokens, and I think it's a little cheaper. Um, yeah. So, and then for the OpenAI API for ChatGPT, I'm gonna use it for the web app. So that's what I got. Let's start. Let's spend the rest of today polishing this up.